Hey everyone. Welcome to our Monday night team call. We are so glad you're here. Good to see your beautiful faces. And for those of you watching the recording, we're glad you're here too. My name is Michelle Barnett, National Marketing Director with Juice Plus. And tonight I get to introduce my dear bestie who lives across the country in Illinois, Casey Elmore, who has been doing some awesome learning, leaders or learners, and she's been doing some awesome learning about sales. And I think it's a word that people coming into our business can be afraid of or have some reservations about. And Casey has built an amazing business and, learning how to handle those conversations about sales and learning really what sales is about and why we should fall in love with it instead of be afraid of it. And so she's going to be sharing tonight just how to fall in love with sales and the process. And I'm super excited. I got my notes ready. So Casey, take it away.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be back here for part 2 of Falling in Love with Sales. So if you have not checked out the first recording, you need to check it out because what I share tonight will make a lot more sense if you do. But I want to kick us off with exactly how I did kick off part 1, and that is our mindset. If you're coming in to this recording or this call live and your mindset is, I don't know how I feel about sales. I don't like selling. It's schemy. It's this or that. The reality is that, and I'm just being very transparent with you guys, that if that is your mindset about sales, then this may not work for you. And the reason being is that everything in life is a sale of some sort, whether we're coming at it from a perspective of, well, that's more sharing. No matter what we're doing, we're selling someone on something. We're selling them on an idea. We're selling them on our passion. We're selling them on a movie or a restaurant. And so you have to really come around to this focus and realization that everything is a sell of some sort, but it's all about the intention that you're coming from. Absolutely, we know that feeling of the schemy, slimy car salesman mindset. That's not what we do. And so I shared this before that what we do is not selling. There's a huge difference between what we do. Sales is simply a process people go through to determine if it's for them. So falling in love with sales is much different than selling. Selling is a process of convincing people it's for them, even if they aren't sure. So I just want to encourage you tonight as I'm sharing what I'm sharing. This is part 2 of falling in love with sales. And so where we left off was this. The questions I had for you guys to reflect upon were, what are the pain points that you came up with to connect with people? We were using your pain points we're going to use these pain points in step 2 and step 3. So everybody's pain points are different. It's really important to recognize what are the pain points you can connect with. And when someone is sharing their pain points, how are you connecting with them, even if you don't have that ability maybe to connect because you don't have that personal experience. So I'm going to expand on steps 2 and steps 3. And to start step 2, this is our how-to steps. They are stories or truly just educational content. So they come off as how-to steps, but we're really only dripping. We're not giving all the goods away, right? We're keeping it short and sweet. Keep it simple, KISS. Keep it simple, silly, right? We're really gonna give them the what and not the how. So I'm gonna give you guys some examples. These are very specific to Facebook Live and Instagram stories, and the reason being is that when you are sharing something and you're in sales, I'm going to say it, you're in sales mode because we want to encourage people to check out what we're doing. Going live or doing your Instagram story is so important because people need to see your face. They need to see your emotions on your face. You guys come in and if you listen to this recording into the call, even if you can't see my face, you can hear my voice inflection. You know what my intention is. You can hear if I start bawling, you can feel that emotion, and we don't get that when we just do a post on Facebook. And so if we're just doing a post on our Instagram gallery. So I really want to speak to Facebook Live and to Instagram stories. So when we're doing a Facebook Live or we're doing an Instagram story, I'm actually going to go through some ideas of how you can get people to get excited about it. It's kind of like teaser marketing. That's really a great way of looking at it. We're going to give them the what and not the how. So for example, if you're going Facebook Live, maybe your title of your live is my 6-step system to, and you could fill in the blank, have more energy, have less pain, have less bloat. My 6-step system towards losing that baby weight, right? So we're filling in, but we're getting them excited because if people can see like, oh, just 6 steps to that, like I need better energy, I'm going to watch this live, or I'm ready to lose the baby weight, I'm going to watch this live. Another great example is how I went from A to B. So A to B is based on a subject. So how I went to 50 pounds overweight to pre-baby weight, or how I went from exhausted and can't get enough sleep to waking up before my alarm. So how I went from A to B, pertaining a subject that you know will connect to people's pain points. Another really great one is my secret to, how about this? Like my secret to getting my kids to eat veggies. My secret, and we don't talk about Juice Plus, but maybe we give a couple ideas of how we sneak in veggies and smoothies or lasagna or pasta. And then we like show these capsules really quick. We give these capsules to our kids every day, put them to the side. We're just dripping on these people. My secret to making X, whatever that person is, or whatever that meal is, tastes unbelievable. My secret to loving your body. Like if people are having a really hard time with their body and how much, and a lot of internal frustration and just anger with themselves, this, loving their body may really resonate with them. And it might, that one of those pain points that really brings up some emotion. So, again, when you're talking about live and you're talking about subjects, definitely getting to those pain points, so important. I loved this idea. Why carbs won't make you fat. Guys, like we know this to be true with the Shred 10. We love carbs. We love the good ones. So doing a live about that is so powerful. And then if you're an Instagram story, it's going to look a little bit different because you have to intro the story with something. So maybe you intro it with a quick title of 3 foods I gave up to burn belly fat. A quick one I know right off the top of my head without doing much thought into it is like giving up coffee. I know helps burn belly fat. You could do an Instagram story title called A Full Day of Eating, and you could show the amazing food you get to experience during the Shred 10. I mean, literally, if you sat down and you showed everybody like your amazing smoothie and your yummy snack, like your protein balls, and then your lunch was like an amazing lasagna, or, again, meals that are just beautiful and they look delicious, right? When people see a full day of eating, they're like, oh my gosh, I want to eat like that. How do I get to do that? Right? We gave them the what, but not the how. And I'll talk about the how here soon. Another great title you could go with is 3 tips when eating out. I just have a new client that's joining our Shred 10, and she talked about how she can't start the Shred right away because she's going to do a lot of traveling. I was like, that's okay. I can help you with eating out and what that's going to look like. And so just giving some of those tidbits we share in the Shred in our group, but just barely dripping on people. And then you'll close with a statement like this. Okay, so you've done your live, you've done your story, and then you'll close with a statement like this. And it's so cool because I walk you through the entire breakdown of all this stuff with our amazing Shred 10 program. How simple is that? We didn't give everybody every single piece of detail, but when I make that simple statement, and then maybe it's not the Shred 10, maybe it's I walk you through this entire process to help your kids, with my wellness business. And they're like, okay, well, what's your wellness business? What do you do? Right? So really coming up with a closing statement at the end of your live to get people to come to you to ask for more, rather than just like, awesome, that's all I got. Have a good day. Hope you guys, happy Friday. Like, I've done that in the past, and that was just like mind-blowing to me that I needed to have a closing statement that was going to get people to ask me more. That was really powerful. So, and keep in mind this, when you are approaching these Facebook Lives or Instagram stories that, hold on one second, I'm losing my, I want to say this. Oh yeah, no, okay, I'm good. That keep in mind that there are two types of buyers. There's the emotional buyer and there's the logical buyer. And it's like Jesse and I marriage, like I'm the emotional buyer, Jesse's the logical buyer. So we really want to hit them with both when we do our story. So when you're trying to attach that emotion, it's really, emotion is connected to stories. When people hear stories, it definitely brings up emotion. You want to help them connect making a purchase decision with their heart, right? You know, when we talk about the kids and maybe you talk about the struggle of your kids eating healthy every day, or the struggle of like getting out of bed and snoozing the alarm 5 times, like people can really connect with that emotionally, right? But then there's the logical side. You've got the logical people that need actionable steps. They need to feel a sense of urgency, that like they're logical, but the sense of urgency is simply that our shred starts next week. Are you ready to get started? That's logical for them. They need facts. So it's good to still, like, you know, for example, if I'm going to say 3 foods I give up for burned belly fat, that's going to get emotional for people that want to burn belly fat. But the facts are, why am I giving up these 3 foods? Because we know these 3 foods are doing X, Y, and Z. Okay. So giving the facts, someone, you know, when you're sharing, you've got to know that people have to trust your knowledge. So it might take some time to build up that a little bit if you're not on social media all the time, especially if you're coming on and talking about health for the first time and maybe you've always talked about, I don't know, cars, right? You might have to build up a little bit of trust of your knowledge. And these people also make a purchasing decision. They literally make this purchasing decision with their head. They look over the numbers, they look over the days, they look at everything. So the questions that they're going to ask themselves is, what is it? You want them to leave with asking that question, what is it? Could this work for me? And has it worked for anyone else? And they'll know if it's worked for anyone else when you share your story and share your success. They're going to question if it will work for me. And if they're going to give themselves permission to wonder if it will work for them because they've heard your story. And then they come back to the what is it? Well, you haven't given them what it is yet. So that's why that closing statement is so, so important. So now we go into step 3. Okay, so step 2 was, the social media, really focusing on the stories, the education. Now we go into step 3, which is 6 total steps to closing. And I'm going to walk you through this. Okay. And here's how it can look. It can look one of 2 ways when you're going to the close. Okay. Because again, when you're asking someone if they want to start on Juice Plus, there has to still come a point of like, are you ready to get started? Okay. So how does that look like when you're approaching it from this way? Again, we want to help you get really good at this so that you can fall in love with sales. You can do it one of 2 ways. You can follow up in the next couple of days by posting some additional content. This is kind of the soft way of going into it, a little bit drawn out, but you're still dripping on people, especially if you're building up that trust of knowledge by posting additional content to add to your story or to your Facebook post. Then you go live again. And again, pertaining the subject that you're on a little bit before, maybe you add a little bit of additional content, and then you go into this closing. Or as you're live, you go straight into these 6 steps. So, and here's why we love this. Our brains are hardwired to narrate a story. And so when you go through these steps, you're literally walking through these stories with people. You're helping them to an outcome without selling them anything, right? But offering intention and an opportunity. So step 1 is asking the question like, hey guys, I know I've shared all this information. Like, I'd love to know if was this helpful for you? Like, will you just comment below? Like, were these 3 questions you can ask, right? We want people to start saying yes to questions. We want them to go up. They call this the yes ladder. We want the customer or the prospect to say yes anywhere from 3 to 6 times. So in your live, saying, were these 3 tips helpful for you? Does this resonate with you? Give me a like, send me a heart if this resonates with you. Do you feel me on this? How many of you guys struggle with that? Is this something you found helpful? So these kind of questions are going to start the bridge transition to the sale, okay? Step 2, getting back to the emotion a little bit. Are you struggling with X? Again, the specific pain point. We want to speak this person's lingo. So here are some kind of statements that were created. If you're a fellow mom who's watching this and you're struggling with losing that baby weight, or insert another pain point. If you're struggling with, pain waking you up at night, if you're struggling with snoozing the alarm 5 times and missing your chance to work out in the morning, or that time for yourself in the morning, and you're ready to feel the pleasure point, you insert the pleasure point in now. You're ready to feel like you can fit back, or you're ready to fit back into your pre-baby clothes. You're ready to wake up before your alarm. You're ready for this. Comment yes below. Comment, I want to hear. I'm so excited to share with you what I have that could really be a huge benefit for you. Comment below. Then step 3, you're going to say, I know exactly how you feel. We're going to insert in that A to B statement. This is our personal story, our testimony, right? And again, I know I talked last time about if our pain point doesn't necessarily connect with someone else, like for instance, if someone was struggling with multiple surgery recovery, I wouldn't connect with that personally. I don't have that pain point, but Michelle has that pain point. So it might look like, my best friend shared with me this struggle, and so I really can tell how you feel because this was her story, X, Y, and Z. Or for me, I would say, here's a good one. And I could say this a little bit. Last year, I was so depressed from gaining weight, after, or not losing the baby weight after Jovi was born. I could say something like that I was too nervous to put on my bikini, right? Or I went embarrassed. I really felt embarrassed about my body and wasn't feeling confident in my skin. So being really vulnerable, sharing that A to B statement, right? I know exactly how you feel. I'm a mom, and just like you is a magic statement, FYI. Just like you, because we are assuming this is how they feel, which reality is most people, it is how they feel. Just like you who felt exhausted and lost, I finally learned how to lose my baby weight without any strict diets or counting calories. Here's one, again, where we can connect someone else's story in case we don't have that pain point. I helped Susie go from sluggish and depressed to her energized pre-baby body again. So where I'm showing the contrast between the before and the after. So I'm showing the pain to the solution. So we say this a lot in this business, that we say, I know exactly how you feel. I felt the same way, and here's what I found. So feel, felt, found, if you're familiar with that really can resonate with you, but that's step 3 is I know exactly how you feel, that A to B statement, okay? And then step 4 is this. Now you give them the opportunity. What if I told you, you start the statement with that, or imagine if, you're casting vision. Imagine if, or I want you to paint the dream, or I want you to close your eyes, right? Imagine if I helped you lose the baby weight in just a handful, or start your journey to losing baby weight in just a handful of days. Imagine if you could burn fat without counting every single calorie. Imagine if you could not need a nap at 3 p.m. or not need that extra cup of coffee. Imagine if, right? So we're just casting vision on their pain point of what could be. That's step 4. Step 5 is when we say what we have to offer. With our Shred 10 program, I'm going to show you how to insert in the irresistible offer. with my wellness coaching, I can help you get your kids fruits and vegetables every single day. With my wellness business, I can show you how to wake up before your alarm every single day, right? So you are giving them the irresistible offer at this point. We really want to speak their lingo. So maybe it's, you know, hold on, let me read my notes here. Yeah. So we're really using their lingo. And then step 6, this is so important. Get the customer out of fear, especially for logical buyers, because logical buyers, again, don't make decisions on emotion. So if they have any kind of fear, they're going to pull back because that's a negative emotion for them. And as soon as logical people have negative emotions, they pull back. So what we need to do is we have to meet the objections up front and have counter objections. So for example, you know, I love talking about calling out the elephant in the room. Like whatever that subject is, I make a point of like, I know that this can sound too good to be true. You know, X, Y, and Z, or I know that this seems insane. I'm being honest with you. I didn't believe it either. Like I didn't know I could have this, like calling out the objections and have a counter objection. Again, here's what I found. It's the skeptics, right? We're addressing the skeptics. Offer them another thing you can do by getting the customer out of fear is giving them something good to look forward to. So offer them a fast action bonus. Maybe you say like, by joining our amazing program, we are offering X, Y, and Z. You know, maybe you're giving them gift cards. We're offering like a bonus gift card or a shaker bottle or, you know, whatever that looks like. Offering them a little bit of a bonus item to get started today. Or by X date. And then we want to really give one clear call to action. So maybe that call to action is inviting them to message you or inviting them to book a free call with you, to really book a consult with you, or to you know, get a freebie call to action. Maybe you say like, hey, if you're not sure if this is for you, message me and I'll give you a freebie and we can talk about the options. So you want to give them a call to action at the very, very end of this. So that is step 6, is call to action. So I want to kind of, again, reiterate the 6 steps to closing, make sure you got them all. The step 1 was asking the question, was this helpful for you? Was this helpful for you? Those questions, were these tips helpful for you? Does it resonate with you? Step 2, are you struggling with X, right? Find that specific pain point. And step 3, I know exactly how you feel, using that feel, felt, found, and A to B statement. This typically is your own personal story or testimony. Step 4, what if I told you that vision casting? What if I told you, or imagine if, or paint the picture, close your eyes and imagine, right? So vision casting. And I have to tell you, I'll just kind of step in real quick on vision casting, guys. Vision casting, even for the logical people, is a game changer. Vision casting is what gets emotions really on a high. So even for logical people, if you focus on vision casting with people and asking them questions, this is one thing I really walked away with. I got to see Catherine Lee speak a couple weeks ago, and she talked a lot about getting people to move. When conflict happens, people tend to fight, flight, freeze. Those are kind of the 3 Fs, but because of conflict. And so what do we do to get out of conflict? Asking these really emotion-driven questions, that these casting vision questions, like, you know, that's really important. If we can only speak to people, you know, by telling rather than asking, our business will not move forward, no matter what our goal is, no matter what our hope is for these people. Okay. Step 5 is making a statement in my course or in our Shred 10 program or with my wellness business. I'll share with you how to, or I will give you the steps, or I will hold your hand. And then step 6 is getting that customer out of fear really kind of hitting the elephant in the room, meeting objections up front, having a call to action right then and there, giving away a little bit of bonus by taking advantage by a certain time. I'll give you guys an example. Right now, I'm hosting a Sporting Babes event this Friday, and we casted vision for the event, all the amazing value that they're going to get, and we've told them in the next 48 hours they can take advantage of a flash sale. And I just got a text from someone out of the blue, literally as I'm on this call, saying, can we not buy tickets Friday night? They're like, because I didn't realize that, so I need to buy mine now. Like, literally that call to action got them like texting me about this event Friday night. So that's really important, that call to action. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else. That's it, wrapping it up. That was steps 2 and 3, closing out how to fall in love with sales. Step 2, again, was the how-to steps, the educational content, really kind of building up. And then step 3 was the closing steps. There were 6 in total. Okay. Now, does anybody have any questions that's on tonight? I know that I've shared a lot and I get super pumped about this. And I will say that I was just texting with Michelle about this, that I'm going to commit to this process, if not once, for sure twice a month, because I want to build into our shred really well once a month, connecting with my story and getting live more with people, because people connect with this, not just this, right? So it's really important to get that face-to-face interaction. So does anybody, if you want to unmute yourselves, feel free to and pop on and ask a question.
So would you be able to type up or screenshot or something some of these steps, because I couldn't write fast enough, with some of the example ideas?
Yep. Yeah, I have screenshots of, so I didn't say this yet, but if you don't follow Angie Lee, she is, and actually let me just confirm what her handle is. It's the Angie Lee Show, or not the, it's just Angie Lee Show on Instagram. She's the one who I got this training from, so I am not the genius. She is, or whoever she got it from, they're the genius. Regardless, this content is fire. I have screenshots of the 6 steps to closing, but I've also kind of filled in my own kind of statements as well. So what I can do is I will create a PDF of the 6 steps to closing of the pictures, and then also including some of this notes of statements I filled in as well. So I can create that, and I will post it. I'll have time tomorrow, so I can post it on the team page under the albums tab, right?
Okay.
Albums or docs, something in notes.
Files. Yeah.
Yep.
Also on that note, I've actually been thinking a lot about doing more Facebook Lives. I know we talked about that a couple months ago with the Ray Higdon trainings, but I just saw on Instagram, someone has created, and of course they're selling it, an ad on Instagram. They created this like a calendar with like basically content ideas for 365 days a year. Not that I would do that many, but a lot of them can be tweaked or changed so that it's all, original to you. And I'm not getting it because they said it was on sale, kind of the same principles that you're talking about. It's like, oh, get it today. But I'm sure, I was like, I know it's going to say that like in 10 days or whatever.
Yes.
So it said you can get it for like they were like $299 value for $27. So I was like, okay.
Yes. Actually.
It's Allie B. Jerk, Jerk. Allie B. Jerk. Bjerk, maybe it's probably how it's said. But 365 live stream ideas. I was like, that's pretty awesome.
I have
a lot of times the hardest part is coming up with the ideas.
Yes. I actually have a content calendar. It's someone that I have not watched it yet. Thank you for reminding me of that, because I'm going to check my email. That it was literally just last week, and I got a free download for 30 days of content ideas. Literally every single day is already planned, and I want to say it is specific to wellness, like a wellness business. So I will look for that, and I will post that as well. And I know that I have like a downloadable that for sure. And then there was like a free webinar. So I will find it and I will post the downloadable also into the team page. And I will link, if I can, I'll link the downloadable with the person that they could go follow to get that content.
Perfect.
Post and then, okay. Just need to make notes. Okay.
Perfect.
Awesome. Well, thanks guys for being on this. Again, like it's not, at the end of the day, sales is different than selling. And if we can get into that mindset that everybody is going to go through a sales process of some sort, and if we can get good at it and when we get good at it, we will fall in love with it. And so following these steps is going to make it simple. It's going to make it easy. You are going to get good at it and thus falling in love with it. So thank you guys so much for this evening. I hope you all have a great rest of your week and we'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.